Hi, I'm so confused.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Quak Pak 1 atmospheric entry demo live stream. Currently we are awaiting acquisition of signal from our vehicle. This will occur a couple seconds after the deorbit burn has started, and we should get a go-no-go poll for that deorbit burn soon. This mission is a test of our heat shield system for reusable satellites. So we should be hearing that go-no-go pool for deorbit shortly.
Attention all operators, this is the final go-no-go poll for deorbit. Range.
Go.
Avionics.
Go.
Propulsion.
Go.
Shield.
Go.
Power.
Go.
Mission director is go for deorbit.
And there you heard the callouts for the deorbit burn go-no-go pool and the callout for the orbit burn start. You should be getting acquisition of signal shortly, and then you'll be able to see live views.
Acquisition of signal.
And there we have that callout for acquisition of signal, which should be getting live views shortly. And there we go. You can see our beautiful satellite doing its deorbit burn using that electric propulsion system. You can see those big solar panels from one of our partners. We're testing those for them today. This deorbit burn should last approximately 2.5 more minutes, and then we will be on a suborbital trajectory toward. Now, after that, we'll have a slightly long coast phase until that atmospheric entry is started. It'll be about 20 minutes. Atmospheric entry begins when we reach an altitude of 100 kilometers, so when that happens, then we will keep our eyes on the vehicle. And there you go, you've seen that deorbit burn shutdown.
Deorbit burn shutdown.
And there we have that confirmation. It looks like the vehicle has reoriented itself to that position where the heat shield is pointing towards where we're going. That's also known as prograde. Now, our heat shield will be inflating when we reach under 100 kilometers altitude in, like I said, about 20-30 minutes. Now, when the vehicle begins to enter the atmosphere and the heat shield is inflated, that gives it a way larger surface area, which will increase the speed in which the satellite will slow down. Similar to what you see in real life on the Starship rocket. So now we're going to be entering that coast phase until we reach about 100 kilometers altitude, where we will see that atmospheric re-entry demo happen. So wish us luck, and we'll see you then. And I'm here with a quick update. I've just gotten a word over the comms that the coast phase will last another about 14 minutes. So when we reach an altitude of 100 kilometers, I will be back, and then we will watch that atmospheric re-entry test. Welcome back to our live coverage of the Quak Pak 1 re-entry demo. We are about 30 seconds away from our inflatable heat shield deploying and solar panel retraction for our atmospheric entry test. That'll occur at about 100 kilometers altitude, which we are reaching soon. You can see the big circular object you're looking at currently is the heat shield. There is a inflatable mesh that will come out and inflate. It spans about 10 meters in diameter, so we should be seeing that very shortly. You can see the beautiful clouds of the Earth below. It looks like we're just about to go under 100 kilometers.
Heat shield inflation confirmed. Solar panel retraction confirmed. Beginning entry interface.
There you saw previously the heat shield deploy. It's now fully inflated, as you can see on the cameras. And those are our solar panels, and they have now retracted. So we are currently ready for entry. Now, we're not sure how much flames we'll see, if we'll see any at all. An object of this size with this type of heat shield has never flown before, so we will see if we have any flames, because it might slow itself down enough that there aren't any flames, and it just gets a little toasty. You can see here a great view, looking almost sideways out at the heat shield. This will be used for our engineers to see what kind of effects the heating has on the heat shield. So we're now a little under 100 kilometers, so pretty soon you will be reaching the start of the really noticeable atmosphere, and then you'll see the acceleration or speed start to go way down. Everything's looking good so far. We are on a stable trajectory. As you can see, we're basically completely horizontal to the ground right now, as most of our speed is horizontal. We're only going down at a very, very low speed compared to the 7,000 meters per second we have going horizontal. And there you can see some islands below. It's a pretty beautiful sight. This camera is right below our engine, so it's a bit further up. We got less of the heat shield in there, so you can get a clearer view. It looks like now we're starting to reach a more dense part of the atmosphere. You can see our speed is starting to go down. Just passing through 85 kilometers now. We actually have a question from Space Eye in the chat. How many times can Quak Pak be reused? So the Quak Pak 1 is a prototype Pathfinder vehicle. In theory, if it does land and is recovered, it could be reused with some modifications for a future flight if there's still more we need to test. The technology being tested here is expected to be used for second stage re-entry of future spacecraft and to be sold to satellite companies so they can get their spacecraft back. This would be extremely useful for constellations that have very high number of satellites that eventually deorbit, and then they can reuse them instead of just having them burn up in the atmosphere. So now you can see, as we're reaching below 70 kilometers, our speed's rapidly decreasing. We used to be at 7,000 meters per second. Now we're below 5,000, so that's very, very good. Everything is going as expected. We've passed well below that 60-kilometer line, and now our speed is below 2,500 meters. You can see it's going down very rapidly as we start to pitch down. The heat shield will start to pitch down towards the water below. This is because we've basically almost scrubbed off all of our horizontal speed from entering the atmosphere at that angle. So now we are basically only going down. You can see a good view here showing how rapidly we are pitching down. And we are still at about 40 kilometers in altitude, so we're going to have a bit of a long descent here into the atmosphere. At about 5,000 meters, or 5 kilometers, we will deploy the parachutes, and then at about 1 kilometer, they'll fully unfurl, and then we'll hit the ground at only about 7 meters per second. Here's a great view showing the Colombian coast on the left-hand side. Now we have almost fully pitched down, meaning we've basically cut all of our horizontal velocity. And now we're at a pretty stable 170 meters per second going down. The terminal velocity for this raft is about 60 meters per second. So once we get to the very densest part of the atmosphere, we'll cap at around there until the parachutes deploy. Looks like we are having a bit of trouble with our telemetry currently. It's kind of having a hard time updating, but everything is still looking good. So we have a bit of a roll here. We're going to get more of the Colombian coast in our view soon. We're now passing just below 20 kilometers in altitude. We're now reaching the densest part of the atmosphere, so we're going to continue to slow down all the way to that previously mentioned 60 meters per second terminal velocity. And it looks like we have a bit of a roll going on here. This shouldn't pose an issue, as roll doesn't really matter now that we are fully pitched down towards the sea. Now passing under 100 meters per second, everything is still looking very good on our side. And once the parachutes deploy and the craft is in the water, the inflatable heat shield will act as a sort of raft for the vehicle in the water, so the very important, very damageable parts of the satellite will not get damaged with the water from the ocean. We do have recovery teams out there on the Colombian coast, ready to move in and secure the satellite onto a boat and take it back to land, where it can be inspected, and possibly reused. Now passing under 10 kilometers, we're about 5 kilometers away from that parachute deployment. See the sun in the distance above. We're now almost at terminal velocity, and then at about 5 kilometers, our parachutes will deploy. So get ready for that. It looks like we're about to have parachute deployment.
Initial parachute deploy confirmed.
And there's that confirmation, along with the visual confirmation seen on the camera. Looks like we're passing through a cloud currently. That looks pretty cool. At about 1 kilometer, the parachutes will fully unfurl and then slow the vehicle down to almost a halt at going just 7 meters per second, safe enough to splash down with no damage to the vehicle. Looks like there we can see some vapor from a cloud we're going through. That looks very pretty. Humvee coast is now below the horizon. We do have a little bit of a roll going on, but that should not be an issue, as roll doesn't really matter as much now that the vessel is fully pointed down. We should be coming up on parachute unfurl just about right now.
Both chutes fully deployed.
And there's that confirmation along with the visual confirmation seen on the screens. Those two parachutes will... Actually, now we are at 7 meters per second, 7.2 to be exact. And we are coming down towards the water. We can definitely improve the flight computer to cancel out that roll in the future. But so far, everything today has gone really well. We're now just under 500 meters from the ground, and we're expecting splashdown in a matter of minutes. There's a back to that shot of the parachutes above the aft section of the vehicle. We are now closing in on that splashdown here. And here we go, now under 100 meters. That splashdown should be any moment now. It looks like we have splashdown on the ocean. This is a view looking at...
Confirmed. Solar panels extended. Recovery operators move in following safety checklist.
And there we go, we got that confirmation from our mission director. So this is a view looking down at the bottom of the raft. And it looks like we have no water that is currently spilled over into the raft, which is great. That means no damage will be done to the flight hardware. Now, this will wrap up our live stream for today, as we have had successful splashdown in the ocean. Here, there's a view of those solar panels that are now deployed. These will help us maintain connections with our recovery operators who are currently coming in to recover the vessel. More updates will be given on the status of these recovery operations in our Discord server that is linked in the description. Thank you very much to everyone for coming today to watch the exciting entry demo of the Quak Pak